Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel English for All Reasons Good, based on the CBSE guidelines and syllabus. Today we are going to revise the chapter Footprints Without Feet by H.G. Wells for class 10th. I've divided again this chapter into two parts so that the revision becomes easier. So let's get started. Now this chapter it abounds with mystery and suspense, and it is a part of an amazing novel, The Invisible Man, written by H.G. Wells. So after doing this, I hope that you will be compelled to read this novel. Now first we'll do about the author. Herbert George Wells, more commonly known as H.G. Wells. So he was a prolific English author of fiction and non-fiction. Wells is best remembered, however, for his famous science fiction novels and uncanny predictions about the future. In 1895, Wells became an overnight literary sensation with the publication of the novel The Time Machine. In quick succession, he published The Island of Dr. Moreau, The Invisible Man, and The War of the Worlds. The Invisible Man, Wells explored the life of another scientist who undergoes a dark personal transformation after turning himself invisible. So, this is the basic idea of the novel The Invisible Man, and this chapter is one part of that novel. Now, the theme of the chapter. The chapter Footprints Without Feet by H.G. Wells highlights that if ingenuity is not used in the right direction, end becomes inevitable. It shows how greed for power and unethical use of intelligence can have unintended consequences. So, a very basic theme that is evil deeds, they will have a not so good end. Now, Griffin, though a gifted scientist, is self possessed. Through his experiments, he is able to make the human body invisible. He is obsessed with the possibilities he could achieve by being invisible, though in the negative sense. His misadventures, first in London and then in Iping, prove to be a cause of his downfall. He crumbles under the weight of his own fancies. This story, it gives us a message that how scientific discoveries and inventions, if in wrong hands, can prove to be disastrous for self and humanity at large. So this it is the universal theme actually. So everywhere in the world, wherever a scientific discovery is not used properly, it is not in the right hands, so it creates a disaster for humanity at large. Now, important questions I'll be doing, but along with the questions, we will be doing the chapter also. So I would try to make it very crisp and short so that it is easily understood by you. Now, in the beginning of the chapter, so we introduced by two boys. So two boys, they are started in surprise. Now here started, it means startled, to move suddenly in surprise and or alarm. So at the fresh muddy imprint of a pair of bare feet. What was a barefooted man doing on the steps of a house in the middle of London? And where was the man? So this was the question. Now, as they gazed, a remarkable sight met their eyes. A fresh footmark appeared from nowhere. So gazed actually means to look intently, steadily and intently, very closely. Now, further, the footprints they followed, one after another, descending the steps and progressing down the streets. The boys followed, fascinated, until the muddy impressions became fainter and fainter and at last disappeared altogether. So now the question from here becomes, why were the boys startled in surprise? So obviously, we come to know the boys, they were startled and amazed to see fresh muddy footprints of a human on the steps of a house without someone visible in the vicinity. As they were pondering to their bewilderment, they saw fresh footprint appear that appeared in front of them from nowhere. So as there was no one to be seen around, so therefore the boys they were startled and they were surprised. Now the explanation of the mystery it was really simple. The bewildered boys they had been following a scientist who had just discovered how to make human body transparent. So this was an incredible achievement for a scientist to make human body transparent. Bewildered it means confused. Griffin, the scientist, had carried out experiment after experiment to prove that human body could become invisible. Finally, he swallowed certain rare drugs and his body became as transparent as a sheet of glass, though it also remained as solid as glass. So now this is what we come to know from this, that how or what was that mystery. So it mystery was that a scientist, he had become invisible after swallowing some rare drugs. Now, brilliant scientist though he was, Griffin was a rather lawless person. So, although he was brilliant, he was a prodigy, he was gifted, but he was lawless. His landlord disliked him and tried to eject him. In revenge, Griffin set fire to the house. To get away without being seen, he had to remove his clothes. So, although he was invisible, the clothes they made him visible. So, that is why to escape from somewhere, he had to take off his clothes. Thus it was that he became homeless wanderer without clothes, without money, and quite invisible, until he happened to step in some mud and left footprints as he walked. So from here, this is the background, and from here we again reach that those muddy imprints. So now the question, were the boys able to discover the reason for footprints without feet? So now the boys, obviously they were not able to discover that what was the reason of those footprints, because the curious boys, though they followed the muddy marks from the steps to down the street, but the footprints they became fainter and fainter until they completely disappeared. So boys, they were not able to find out about this invisible man. Now next on the same page is what is the explanation of this mystery. So again, the mystery of the footprints was simple. They were the footprints of a scientist named Griffin who had discovered how to make human body invisible. After carrying out many experiments, he was successful in his mission. He swallowed certain drugs and his body became as transparent as a sheet of glass, though it also remained as solid as glass. Now, in this chapter, the answers and the questions, actually, there'll be straight questions and the answers, they are given as such in the chapter. So, only if you read the chapter carefully, you'll be able to write all answers. Now, next we move on to page number 27. So, let's do page 27 first. So, now from here, he escaped easily enough from the boys who followed his footprints in London, but his adventures they were by no means over. He had chosen a bad time of the year to wander about London without clothes. So why it was a bad time? So that is the next question. So it was midwinter, the air was bitterly cold and he could not do without clothes. Instead of walking about the streets, he decided to slip into a big London store for warmth. So, our next question, why had he chosen a bad time for his adventures, or with what intention did he enter the London store? What did he do there? So, for all these two questions, we have the same answer. So, he had chosen a bad time for his adventures because it was midwinter and icy cold outside. The chill in the air was biting, and without clothes, he could not survive even for a few hours. Therefore, instead of walking about the streets, he decided to enter a big London store for warmth. As soon as the store closed, Griffin broke open the boxes and wrappers and wore warm clothes. Soon he became completely dressed and visible. Then he lavishly fed himself with cold meat and coffee, followed by sweets and wine, and finally he settled down to sleep on a pile of cozy quilts. So, this is what he did once he was inside the London store. So let's see what happens after that. So closing time arrived, and as soon as the doors were shut, Griffin was able to give himself the pleasure of clothing and feeding himself without regard to expense. Now, without regard to expense means without worrying about paying the money. So he broke open the boxes, wrappers, and fitted himself out with warm clothes. Soon, with shoes, an overcoat, and a wide brimmed hat, he became a fully dressed and visible person. So, this question can again come, how did he first become visible? So, you have to write from here. So, once inside the London store, when the people or the closing time was there, the store was shut down. So, he broke open the boxes and he wore an overcoat, a white brimmed hat, he wore shoes, and he became a fully dressed person. In the kitchen of the restaurant, he found cold meat and coffee, and he followed up the meal with sweets and wine taken from the grocery store. Finally, he settled down to sleep on the pile of quilts. If only, now this is interesting. So, if only Griffin had managed to wake up in good time, all might have been well. But with the person who has evil intentions, nothing is well with them. So, as it was, He did not wake up until the assistants they were already arriving next morning. When he saw a couple of them, so you can see how he is running. He is being chased here. So when he saw a couple of them approaching, he panicked and he began to run. They naturally gave a chase. Now let's do the questions first. So, why had he chosen a bad time for his adventures? With what intention? This we've already done. Let's do the next one now. So, why did Griffin panic and run from the store, London store, or how did he escape from the London store? Now, Griffin had taken shelter in the London store for the night. He stole clothes from there, ate greedily from the pantry, and slept like a baby in the cozy quilts of the store. But before he could get up and slip out of the store unnoticed, the staff arrived. He panicked as he had not thought of this. With clothes on, he was visible and therefore could be caught. So he ran for his life. The attendants ran after him, but he escaped by removing all his clothes. So now, once again, he was without clothes and he was out in the chill of the winter. Winter in London. Okay, so next let's see what he did. So once more he found himself invisible but naked in the chill of January here. Now this time he decided to try the stock of a theatrical company in the hope of finding not only clothes but also something that would hide the empty space above his shoulders. So now he was thinking that he should go somewhere and wear such clothes so that the empty space above his shoulders that should also be covered because he had nothing around his face. So shivering in, with cold, he hurried to Drury Lane, the center of the theatre world. So here he could find clothes and props. He soon found a suitable shop. He made his way invisible upstairs and came out a little later wearing bandages round his forehead, dark glasses, false nose, a bushy side whiskers, and a large hat. So now he entered a shop, a theatre shop, which had props and clothes, and invisible he went, but when once he came out, he was visible because he had bandages round his forehead, he was wearing dark glasses, a false nose, big bushy side whiskers, and a large hat. Now, to escape without being seen, he carelessly attacked the shopkeeper from behind, after which he robbed him of all the money he could find. So, because he was without clothes, he was homeless, he was penniless, so therefore, first he wore clothes from the shop, then he attacked the shopkeeper because now he could be seen, and then he took off all his money. Now, first, let's do the question. Whom did he rob at the Drury Lane and why? So, we'll read it because we've already done it. So, after escaping from the London store, he decided to check on a theatrical company in the hope of finding not only clothes but also something to hide the empty space above his shoulders. So, he rushed towards Drury Lane. There, he found a suitable shop and sneaked into it under the cover of his invisibility. He came out of the shop wearing bandages around his forehead, dark glasses, false nose, big bushy whiskers, and a large hat. To escape from there without the notice of the shopkeeper, he attacked the shopkeeper and injured him. Then he robbed him of all the money that he could find in his shop. So, this is what he did there. So, now let's see what he did next. Eager to get away from crowded London, he took a train to the village of Iping, where he booked 2 rooms at the local inn. So now he decided to leave London. Now, why he decided to leave London? Why did Griffin decide to leave London and go to the village of Iping? Griffin wanted to be away from the crowd of London. He wanted to spend some time alone in peace by himself, so therefore he took a train to Iping. Now, how was he welcomed at Iping? Let's read that. The arrival of a stranger at an inn in winter was in any case an unusual event. The stranger of such uncommon appearance set all tongues wagging. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, made every effort to be friendly, but Griffin had no desire to talk and told her, "My reason for coming to Iping is a desire for solitude. I do not wish to be disturbed in my work. Besides, an accident has affected my face." Satisfied with her guest was an eccentric scientist, And in a view of the fact that he had paid her in advance, Mrs. Holmes was prepared to excuse his strange habits and irritable temper. So let's see what has happened. So now he reaches Iping, and there, because of his uncommon appearance, all tongues they were wagging. Now, what does this mean? All tongues were wagging. It means that people they were talking a lot about him. And now Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, at whose inn he had taken rooms, she tried to be friendly with the Griffin, but Griffin snubbed her and said that he desired solitude. So the lady found him to be eccentric. So eccentric is with some unusual behavior. A person with a strange behavior, that is eccentric. So now what happens? Mrs. Halsey was prepared to excuse his strange habits and irritable temper because he had paid her in advance. But the stolen money did not last long, and presently Griffin had to admit that he had no more ready cash. So the stolen money, from where was the stolen money? From that shop at the Drury Lane. So that stolen money, obviously, it had to finish one day. So after the money had finished, he had to admit that he didn't have any more money. So he pretended, however, that he was expecting a check to arrive at any moment. So let's do this question first. Now, why was the arrival of the stranger at Iping an unusual event? Well, the stranger's arrival at Iping was an unusual event because no one visited the village during the harsh winter season, and above that, he looked strange with bandages on the face. So soon everyone was talking about it. So during that winter season, it wasn't a tourist season, and nobody visited that village during that harsh winter. So it was unusual for this man to go and take a room at the inn in Iping. So now let's see what happened. Now he is out of money. So, but obviously he had to pay Mrs. Holmes because he had taken a room there. So let's see then what this man does. So he pretended, however, that he was expecting a check to arrive at any moment. So shortly afterwards, a curious episode occurred. Very early in the morning, a clergyman and his wife were awakened by noises in the study. Creeping downstairs, they heard the chink of money being taken from the clergyman's desk. Without making any noise and with the poker grasped firmly in his hand, the clergyman flung open the door and he shouted, "Surrender." So, what happened? He is out of money. So, there is a burglary at the village, at the clergyman's house. So when both of them, the clergyman and his wife, they were sleeping, they were awakened by noises in their study. So they went downstairs and they heard chink of the money. Chink of the money means sharp metallic sound of coins. So the money was being taken from the clergyman's desk. Now, without making any noise and poker grasped in the hand, the clergyman he entered the study. Now, poker is a metal rope with a handle, and he shouted, "Surrender." Now, before that, these questions. Now, what did Griffin tell Mrs. Halls about his stay at the inn? Now, Griffin told Mrs. Hall that he had come to Iping in search of solitude. Therefore, he told Mrs. Hall not to disturb him in his room. Also, to satisfy her curiosity about his appearance, he told her that an accident had disfigured his face. And why did Mrs. Hall find him eccentric? Mrs. Hall found Griffin to be eccentric because he was rude and didn't want to be disturbed during his stay. He had also paid in advance, which was rarely done by any other guest. So, because of all these things, Mrs. Hall find that this he was a strange man. So, next, now why was Mrs. Hall ready to overlook his strange behavior? Mrs. Hall was greedy lady. She found that the stranger was ready to pay in advance. She did not mind his irritable nature and strange habits. Moreover, businesses slowed down during harsh winters, and she didn't want to miss this opportunity of earning money. So, because of all these reasons, Mrs. Hall she was ready to overlook his strange habits. Now, next is, what did Griffin pretend and why? Now, the money that Griffin had stolen from the shop at Drury Lane did not last long. Mrs. Hall was asking for her rent, and Griffin had to admit that he didn't have any ready cash. Therefore, he pretended that he was expecting a check to arrive at any moment to avoid any confrontation with her. Also, he didn't want to be thrown out from there. So let's go to the next question. What did Griffin do in the house of the clergyman? The money that Griffin had stolen from the shopkeeper at Drury Lane finished soon. Mrs. Hall was asking for rent, so he decided to steal at the clergyman's house. So now this is the reason why he went there. He slipped into the study of the clergyman and started looking for money. The sound of the things being ruffled woke up the couple, but when they reached their study from where the noises were coming, obviously they were not to find anything. So they found nothing as Griffin was invisible. Yet the desk had been opened and the housekeeping money was taken. So there had been a robbery, but they could not see a sign of anybody there. So obviously it was a strange thing to happen. Now this is the end of part 1. I'll be taking rest of the pages in the next video so that you are able to understand it carefully. And one more thing, so you revise these 13 questions once again before you go to the next video. So hope you enjoyed it and kindly do subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Happy watching. Thank you so much.